another episode of Game Time. I'm JP Murrieta, and this week we're at Valley High School, home of the Vikings, and we're here with the football team and head coach Billy Kobos. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
The good news is you're still playing.
Yes,
you're
sir.
in the postseason.
Yes,
Did you
sir.
think this was going to be a playoff year for you guys?
We felt like that when we got together as a staff. We felt like we had the hosses to do this and have a pretty good record like we do now. So
You're the number 8 seed.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
where you thought you'd be? What do you think about the seed?
I don't know. I feel like we probably could have got a higher seed, but we'll go with the punches.
You take on Miyamura. How do you match up with the Patriots?
I think we match up pretty well with them, and I think our team speed will match up very well with them.
You said team speed. You also said hosses, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes,
Who
sir.
are these hosses? Who's getting it done for you guys?
Well, we got a triplet of running backs. Well, now we got quadruplets, I guess.
They grow by the week.
Yeah, so Caden Hohola, Ricky Henderson, Tajay Wilson, and now Charlie Lopez Burton. They'll get that job done.
You finished up the regular season with a 50-0 win over Rio
Yes, sir.
Grande. What did you like most about your team's performance last week?
I was very, very happy that we came out and we didn't let our foot off the gas one time. That made me really happy and felt like the boys got back on track after the loss to Los Alamos.
Well, offensively, during this season, you haven't let off the gas much. If I'm not mistaken, you've scored 28 points or more in each of your 7 wins,
Yes,
including 50, 56, 49, 48 in your last 4 victories alone.
Yes, sir.
How's this offense been getting it done?
Oh, man, through the air, on the ground, every which way. I mean, the linemen have done a great job. The running backs, whoever's got the hot hand at the game, they'll take it. So,
This is your first year as head coach of the Vikings.
Yes, sir.
What's year 1 been like?
wow, it's been amazing. The boys have really responded to everything we've asked of them, and, we couldn't ask more. So.
During this week, getting ready for your first round playoff game,
sir.
what's the focus? What do you do to get these guys ready?
Oh man, they're focused. They definitely are, and it's playoff football, and it's November, and we're excited for it. And the community seems to be very excited and ready to see what we could do in the playoffs. So.
What kind of community support have you had this year? Because Valley traditionally has a good, strong core of fans and family that come out and support no matter what the sport.
Yeah, this year, in the past, I think we kind of lost that luster and the fan support and stuff. And, I look into the stands at each game and we have a pretty good crowd. So I say we have a really strong community support here.
What's going to be the key to picking up the win this week and advancing to the next round?
Just playing Viking football. That's all we could do come Saturday.
Maybe you'll play well enough, advance, and keep this train
Yes,
moving
sir.
in the right
Yes, sir.
direction.
Thank you.
Thanks for being
All
our
right.
guest this week.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Game Time after this.
Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks, and athletes who drink or do drugs are twice as likely to get injured. Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to the website to find out today.
Hi, my name is Charles Lopez Burton from Valley High School. Welcome back to Game Time.
We've talked with the Valley Vikings about their postseason plans, but before we break down the rest of the brackets, let's take a look back at some of the highlights of the last week of the regular season.
La Cueva beat Farmington 62-19 to win the district title and lock up the number 2 seed in the playoffs. Aiden Armenta threw 4 touchdown passes and rushed for another, accounting for 5 scores on the night. Ian Sanchez caught 3 of those TD tosses. It's also worth noting the performance of Mason Posa, who returned a punt for a touchdown and recorded an interception, a sack, and caused a fumble. The Bears have a first-round bye and will play the winner of the Farmington-Carlsbad matchup. Defending state champ Los Lunas posted their 3rd straight shutout. The Tigers put up 35 in the first quarter and beat Clovis 54-0 on Friday to clinch the district title. Los Lunas will take on Cibola in the opening round of the playoffs this week. Alamogordo grinded out a tough 7-3 win over Oregon Mountain to solidify their spot in the postseason. Centennial quarterback Daniel Hernandez scored 3 rushing touchdowns against Las Cruces on their way to a 35-14 win. The Hawks finished unbeaten in district play for the second straight year and earned a 3 seed in the postseason. Artesia scored 2 plays into the game against Mayfield and never looked back. The Bulldogs blanked the Trojans 35-0. Artesia is the 1 seed and will wait to meet the winner of the Valley Miamura matchup. After losing their first 6 games of the year with a tough schedule, Lovington has now won 4 straight, including Friday's 20-14 win over Portales to clinch the district title and land a top 4 seed in the playoffs. Hobbs wrapped up their regular season with a 42-7 win over Carlsbad. Hobbs earned a top 4 seed and a first-round bye. The Eagles will take on the winner of the Volcano Vista Trisco Heritage matchup. Silver had their second lowest offensive output of the season with only 13 points against Valencia, but it was enough for the victory. 13-0, Silver earned the top seed in their classification, and they'll face either Aztec or Valencia. Ruidoso wrapped up the regular season with a win over Dexter, 43-6. Ruidoso is the 2 seed and will take on West Las Vegas or Newcomb. Albuquerque Academy and Bernalillo went head-to-head last week, with the Chargers coming out on top 27-24. Those 2 teams will meet up again this week in the first round of the playoffs. Texaco fell behind 3 times in the first half alone, but battled back to beat Eunice 36-35. Texaco will take on Tularosa in the 2A quarterfinals this week. We are down to the semifinals of the 6-man and 8-man football playoffs. Here's a look at the Final 4 matchups.
Hi, my name's Caden Hohola from Valley High School, and we'll be back with more game time after this.
We wanted to take this opportunity to remind you, if you haven't already, make sure to download the NMAA 24/7 app. It's free, and free is cheap. Chances are likely you have a phone in your possession right now, so go to the App Store or Google Play and download the free NMAA 24/7 app. It's the best place to find schedules, scores, highlights, and follow your school all year. And here's the best part, we will have giveaways all throughout the year. You will be registered to win just by downloading the app and signing up. We will have prizes from Dick's Sporting Goods, Dion, Sonic, tournament pass giveaways, free tickets, and much more. You like free stuff? Then download the NMAA 24/7 app. The best place to find tournament brackets? The NMAA 24/7 app. The easiest way to find out when your team is playing next? The NMAA 24/7 app. Where can you go to find out the final score you're looking for? The NMAA 24/7 app. It's all in one place, the NMAA 24/7 app. So go to the App Store or Google Play and download the free NMAA 24/7 app.
Last year, we had to change so many games. You probably got frustrated because you thought you were going to play on a Tuesday, and then we did not have officials, so we had to move the game to Thursday, and football now is on a Thursday and not on a Friday and Saturday. Well, that is all due to not having enough officials because of the bad behavior that is going on within our games. And that's parents included and spectators.
It's everybody's responsibility. We all talk about, is it the coaches, is it the administrators, is it the community member? It's got to be all of us doing it together, because if we all do it together, then it's a lot easier to solve the problem.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. Do you really want someone to yell at you? Do you want someone to sit there and yell at a kid or whatever? If that was your kid, would you want someone yelling at him? No, you wouldn't. I mean, so to me, treat people the way you want to be treated, act the way you think people should behave, and I think we should all be golden.
Set the example. Set the example for everybody around you.
Winning is fun. Winning is rewarding. Winning is an important goal, but the number one reason kids take part in athletics and activities is to have fun. Don't ruin their experience with inappropriate language. Negative behavior can be embarrassing to your student. Know your role. Your role is to support your student in a positive manner, not to coach, not to referee, but if you're interested in officiating, we can direct you on how to become an official. Call me after this video and I'll be happy to set you up. The way parents behave in the stands has a big influence on how their child enjoys their experience. Let's compete with respect, integrity, and responsibility.
We are going to have an administrator at every single contest to make sure that our parents, that our fans, that our coaches, our athletes are behaving appropriately, and we go back and realizing why we play high school sports, and that is for the friendships, for the love of the game and to learn lifelong skills.
Hi, my name is Ricky Henderson from Valley High School. Welcome back to Game Time.
Welcome back to Game Time from Valley High School. This past weekend, we released all of the brackets for the Newsenda Credit Union State Football Championships. If you missed the seeding and selection show, here's a breakdown of the brackets.
Let's start in Class 2A. JAL is the number 1 seed. The Panthers are undefeated. They made it to the state final last season, falling short to Eunice.
I think last year, we had a group and they were having some success, and kind of lost our way going into that state championship and kind of lost focus. We had beaten Eunice earlier in the regular season, and I think our guys kind of felt like, hey, we're just going to go in there and win this ball game. And now that they've seen that that's not always a reality, I'd like us to just keep on pace, treat it every game like a week 1 game and get out there and get after it.
JAL gets Escalante, the 8 seed. Defending state champ Eunice is the 4, and Estancia the 5. They'll meet up. Santa Rosa is the 3 seed and will host Loving. Texaco is the 2, and they'll take on Tularosa this week.
We kind of have a little acronym that we talk about, TEE. TEE stands for toughness, execution, and effort. And I think back when I was playing at Clovis and coaching at Clovis, and that's really what we were. We didn't always have the best record because we would play the Emerald Highs and some of the tougher Texas schools in the Panhandle early in the year. And but we were tough, and so we try to be tough, and then we try to execute the little things, the fundamentals, and then play with outstanding effort. And if we feel like if we do those things, that's going to give us our best chance to win.
In Class 3A, Socorro is number 1. They are undefeated. The last time their defense gave up any points was September 23rd against Raton. Raton has the state's all-time leading rusher in Caden Walton. Socorro, St. Michael's, Robertson, and Ruidoso all earned first-round byes.
Our focus mainly is on practicing and acting like a champion. And then the rest will take care of itself. You want to be a champion, then you have to do what champions do. You have to work hard. You have to, do good in school. You've got to do, all the little things. You have to act and practice like a champion. Champions don't take practices off. They don't take days off. All of those things. That's what we really try to focus on.
We've got to show up to a weight room every morning. We've got to run every play. If it's our last, we've got to just be committed and work for that state title.
In Class 4A, Silver's the top seed. Silver's only loss is a 7-0 defeat against Deming. Head coach Jerome Ortiz was on Silver's 05 title team, and he thinks this group has the makings to win it all as well.
They're like, Coach, you were right. You told us this when we were in the Pop Warner League, that if we stayed together, we would have a chance at hopefully a state title. And I said, you do. I said, there's some big monsters we got to face. I mean, you can't look over Taos, Lovington, Portales. You can't look over any of those guys. But we got a goal, and we have the right mindset for those teams, and we're ready for whoever we have to face.
In Class 5A, Artesia is the top seed. Then it's Roswell, Piedra Vista, and Goddard. 3 of those 4 teams are in the same district. Of note in this bracket, Gadsden is in the state playoffs for the first time since the 70s. Artesia has more state championships than any other program in state history.
I like being in the top 4 because I think that bye plays a big part in it. You get healed up and some things there right before you go into the last 3 games, but I don't really put much stock into, we don't talk at all really about, we probably talk more when we weren't number 1 about playing the number 1 teams than we ever do about, hey, we're number 1 now. I don't really care where we get seated at the end of the day, because we know we're going to have to beat some really good football teams to end up number 1 at the end of the season when it's the most important. So it's less about where we are now and where we want to be.
In Class 6A, Cleveland is number 1, La Cueva 2, Centennial 3, and Hobbs 4. Cleveland is the defending state champ and has played in every state final since 2018. Atrisco Heritage was the last team in the field, but there are several teams who could win it all.
It just takes playing good football, but at the end of the day, it's football. It's playing football, and there's no rules that change when it's in the playoffs. It's just playing good football. And I tell our kids all the time, it's almost the teams that want to advance, the teams that have the desire to keep playing are the ones that keep playing.
The Fuddruckers State Soccer Championships continue this week with the semifinals and the finals. Here's a look at the teams who still have a chance to lift that blue trophy.
On the girls' side, Sandia Prep is the defending state champ in Class A through 3A. The top seed advanced to the semifinals against St. Michael's. That's a rematch of last year's final. Robertson and Bosque are on the other side of the bracket. In Class 4A, undefeated top seed and defending state champ Hope Christian takes on Los Alamos, while Albuquerque Academy will meet rival St. Pius. In 5A, the final four teams are Cleveland, Cibola, El Dorado, and Las Cruces. For the boys, top seed and defending state champ Sandia Prep put up 10 goals in the quarterfinals and advanced to play Robertson. Hatch Valley will host Santa Fe Prep. In 4A, top seed Lovington gets Goddard in the semis, and Hope Christian will host Highland. The Hornets knocked out Albuquerque Academy in the quarterfinals.
Winning games is always a great thing. Anytime you can beat Albuquerque Academy is huge, because, they are, you could pretty much consider them the gold standard for boys soccer. So anytime we can beat them, especially with my Highland guys, it just means it's the best. So doing it in state, kind of getting payback for them knocking us out of state the past 2 years. And also being able to beat Academy twice in one season is a massive accomplishment. And as far as my Highland soccer program goes, it's probably our biggest victory to date.
In Class 5A, Volcano Vista gets district rival Cleveland, and defending state champ Santa Fe will travel to Centennial for the semis.
The strength of their team is they're an offensive juggernaut. They're the highest scoring team in the state. We were the highest scoring team last year, and we won, right? So that can carry you in a tournament like this. You've got one player, he scored all 3 goals last game, including the overtime golden goal. And that was, I'm just going to say, dirty. I mean, that was, I don't know if you've seen that, but what he did to Atrisco defenders and the goalkeeper was like what Alex does. That was special. And so we know that they're going to come at us with a lot of strengths.
These soccer state championships will take place Friday and Saturday at Cleveland High School. Saturday will also be the Western Sky Community Care State Cross Country Championships at Albuquerque Academy. A couple distance runners will be looking for repeat titles, including Sandia's Stephen West, who finished first last year by 13 seconds, and he is hoping to be 100% healthy by Saturday's race.
I'm going to a physical therapy appointment today, trying to get my hip in shape. It's just stuff that happens toward the end of the season. It seems like I'm feeling better and better, trying to stay positive. And I'm excited to race Thomas at state. It's going to be fun. He's not going to give a win for free, for sure. It's going to be a race.
Good luck to all the runners on Saturday. That's going to do it for another episode of Game Time. Remember, you can purchase tickets to the championship events at gofan.co/NMAA. Remember, there are no cash sales for tickets. Digital ticket sales only for the state championship events. So go to gofan.co/NMAA and purchase your digital tickets today. We'll see you at the state championships, and we'll see you next time on Game Time.